No, so there was a crossroads where we were both invited to an Illuminati thing, and it had to be one or the other of us.
Stop everything. This is not a drill. Hollywood just exploded with a scandal so messy, so shocking, that fans are struggling to believe their eyes. Tyler Perry, the king of black cinema, the billionaire mogul, the man everyone thought was untouchable just, got clowned in public by none other than Monique and Katt Williams. And what's got the whole internet losing its mind? The bombshell victim list finally leaked after years of rumors. And the wild accusations of SA that no one can ignore anymore. Monique has never been afraid to call out Tyler Perry. Went off on Instagram Live, dropping savage truths and refusing to hold anything back. Katt Williams. He's right there with her, dragging Tyler from the stage to the group chat, throwing down receipts and saying what everyone else is too scared to whisper. Fans are in shock. Celebrities are running damage control. And behind the scenes, Hollywood. Execs are panicking, booking emergency meetings, and scrubbing their socials. It's not just a beef. This is a full-blown public showdown, and everyone wants to know what's on that victim list. Speaking out. Is this the end of Tyler Perry's reign, or just the start of a bigger, messier saga? Get ready, because in the next few minutes, we're breaking down every twist. It's every jaw-dropping revelation. Every leaked message and side-eye comment that's got the whole world glued to their screens. Buckle up, this story is about to go nuclear, and you won't believe how deep it goes. It's a Thursday night, and the internet is on fire. Fans are scrolling, jaws dropping, group chats blowing up because Monique just went live. And she's not holding back at all. Her face is set, voice icy calm, but every word cuts deep. I told y'all for years, she says, eyes locked on the camera. I told y'all Tyler Perry wasn't what he pretended to be. But nobody wanted to hear it not when his money was flowing. It's her words echo. Thousands are tuning in. Comments rolling so fast you can't read half of them. On the other side of town. Katt Williams is on stage. Packed house. The energy crackling like electricity. The lights hit him just right, and he takes the mic with that signature swagger. Hollywood got too many secrets. He tells the crowd, but see, secrets got a way of leaking when you least expect it. He doesn't say Tyler's name, but everyone in that room and everyone watching the clips online knows exactly who he means. Meanwhile, news outlets are scrambling. TMZ, Shade Room, all the blogs, they're digging up every old interview. Every beef, every whisper that ever floated through the industry. Twitter is trending. Hashtag Tyler Perry exposed, shooting up with memes, reaction gifs, and wild theories. Somebody pulls up an old video where Tyler and Monique seem to make peace, but the comments are ruthless. She tried to warn us. Y'all just didn't listen. Not just fans who are shook. Behind closed doors, managers are texting their clients. Lawyers are checking contracts, PR teams are having full-blown meltdowns. One insider leaks a screenshot of a panicked Hollywood group chat, big names. Blue check marks.
Get mad, even if you get offended. So, what you gonna do? Because I guarantee you can beat me.
Marks all asking the same question. How much does Monique know? How many receipts does Katt have? The fear is real, because nobody wants their name on that victim list. Mo single quotes and IQUE is just getting started. In her live, she starts reading out the first names, nothing too specific, but enough to make a statement. Some of these men been hiding behind the church, behind their charity, behind their fancy titles. I'm not here for it anymore. Her voice cracks a little, and you can see the pain, but she pushes through. Tyler Perry, yeah, I said it. You need to answer for what you did. While that's happening, Katt posts a video to his socials, sitting in his car with the seat leaned all the way back. The industry told me to shut up years ago, he says, but now y'all see it. When you see people turning up hurt, careers getting sabotaged, and nobody's saying a word, ask yourself, why? He flashes a stack of papers rumored to be court docs, DMs, receipts just long enough to send the whole internet into detective mode. The blogs have a field day. Suddenly, everyone is a reporter, piecing together the timeline of Tyler Perry's rise, his partnerships, every person he's helped or allegedly hurt along the way. Names from his past start trending, ex-cast members dropping cryptic tweets, fans digging through old interviews for clues by midnight. The rumors have spun so far out of control that even Tyler's own team has to respond. A statement goes up. On his Instagram, "I have always stood for integrity. These allegations are false and deeply hurtful." But the comments aren't buying it. Why are so many people saying the same thing? Where there's smoke, there's fire. Monique's live is still racking up views. She tells a story maybe for the first time about a night years ago, when she says she saw something in Tyler's mansion that made her question everything. It wasn't right. "I wanted to speak up, but they told me if I said a word, I'd never work again." Katt jumps in with his own bombshell. A moment on set when Tyler allegedly crossed the line with a young actor. You think folks are lying. Why all these stories line up then? Now, industry friends are choosing sides. A-list actors start unfollowing Tyler, deleting old photos, liking shady tweets. At the same time, some are sending him support behind. The scene's terrified that the next headline could be about them. Managers whisper to their clients, "Lay low. Don't post anything. Let the storm pass." But this time, the storm's too big to ignore as dawn breaks. There's one question on every fan's mind. What's really on that victim list? Monique and Katt keep hinting that it's not just one name, or it's a pattern. Years of whisperers, ignored cries for help, and the silent power games that run Hollywood. "This ain't about canceling a man," Katt says in a new video, voice low. "It's about holding folks accountable finally." Meanwhile, Tyler's PR machine goes into overdrive, booking him for a carefully scripted interview with a mainstream outlet. The interviewer asks,
So there was a crossroads where we were both invited to an Illuminati thing, and it had to be one or the other of us.
Point blank, "Are any of these allegations true?" Tyler, voice trembling just a little, says, "Absolutely not. I have worked my whole life to lift people up." But the internet isn't convinced. Screenshots, DMs. Old stories keep surfacing. Then the plot thickens. A new player enters the scene. A former actor from one of Tyler's hit shows who vanished from the spotlight years ago. In a leaked voice note, he claims he was pushed out after refusing advances. "I thought I was alone," he says, "but seeing Monique and Katt stand up, maybe now it's time to speak my truth." The blogs go wild. Fans start naming names. And suddenly, Hollywood feels smaller and a lot more dangerous. That's where part one ends. Right at the edge of another explosion, Monique promises more receipts tomorrow night. Katt Williams hints there's a secret group chat with Even. Bigger revelations ready to drop. The world is watching, every phone buzzing, every eye glued to the feeds. Because if this is just the beginning, what comes next is going to be even wilder. The sun has barely come up, but the internet hasn't slept. As soon as Monique ends, her explosive live clips are everywhere. TikTok, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube fans replaying her words. Breaking down every hint and pause. Hashtags multiply. There's even a meme where some people joking about Tyler Perry running from the group chat. Others dead serious, sharing stories about friends who say they were warned about certain parties or industry favors. The energy is frantic and nobody's looking away. As the hours pass, a new wave of stories surfaces. Former extras, minor cast members, assistants, people who once circled Tyler's world start dropping anonymous posts. One claims he was pressured to stay late after a rap party. Another says she quit after overhearing something that never sat right. A third insists he was blacklisted after refusing to get close to Tyler's inner circle. The stories aren't all detailed, but there are too many to ignore. Every post sparks hundreds of replies. Same thing happened to me, or I never felt comfortable on those sets. Some users are skeptical, others demand justice. Even those defending Tyler admit it's hard to ignore the sheer number of voices. The drama doesn't stop with just allegations. Tyler's management releases another statement, this time hinting at legal action against false accusers. But every attempt at damage control seems to make things worse. When TMZ tries to get a comment from Monique as she steps out of her car, she just smiles and says, "I told y'all. I'll keep telling it till they listen." Katt Williams, meanwhile, posts a selfie with the caption, "Hollywood thought they could silence me. Try again." The photo goes instantly viral. That afternoon, a major entertainment podcast claims to have gotten hold of the first few names on the so-called victim list. They promise an exclusive drop, setting a countdown clock on social media. This stirs up even more panic behind the scenes. Meanwhile, Hollywood isn't the only world rattled by the news. Preachers who once praised Tyler now issue careful, cautious statements.
I was the one that was for years, fully attempting to harass me. And I'm going to be paying because you got to feel fine.
Securities scrambled to distance themselves, quietly taking down his photos. Reporters camp outside his studio, hoping to catch a glimpse, but Tyler doesn't show. Paparazzi snap shots of him arriving at his mansion, looking tired, surrounded by security. Now, Monique goes live again, this time joined by an old friend from the industry. A woman whose career stalled just as it was taking off. "People always ask me why I disappeared," she says, eyes fierce. "Now you know, it was either my silence or my career, and I chose myself." Her story is raw, full of pain, and fans flood the chat with messages of support, outrage, and hope that the truth is finally coming out. Katt drops his own bombshell on a late-night radio show. "I got stories y'all ain't ready for." Stories that go back decades. Hollywood isn't built on dreams, it's built on silence. The host tries to dig for details, but Katt only laughs. Wait till you see who speaks next. This is just chapter 1. Fans are torn. Some can't believe their hero could be hiding so much darkness. Others say they've seen too many red flags. The comment sections are full of debates, heartbreak, and calls for more celebrities to speak up. We need receipts. Some people demand, "Don't stop now." Others beg by nightfall. Another voice steps into the ring, a former crew member from one of Tyler's early films. They share screenshots of late-night messages, invitations to private dinners, stories about other young actors who never made it past the first table read. "We knew if we said no, we'd be gone," they write. "We were told to smile and be grateful for the opportunity, but at what cost?" By the end of the day, it feels like the whole industry is trembling. Every new accusation brings a new twist, a new detail, and the sense that the real truth is still just out of reach. Fans are glued to their screens, waiting for the next update, the next name, the next bombshell. Everyone's asking, how deep does this go? Who's next to speak up? And most of all, what happens when the victim list is finally revealed? As the clock ticks past midnight, the anticipation is electric. It feels like history is unfolding in real time. And nobody, not even Tyler Perry himself, can control where the story goes next by the time the sun rises again. The storm swirling around Tyler Perry has turned into a full-blown media hurricane. Every outlet, gossip blogs, major news channels, YouTube reactors is locked on the story. You can't open your phone without seeing headlines like "Hollywood rocked by new allegations." And Monique and Katt Williams demand justice. The pressure is suffocating. And Tyler's inner circle is shrinking by the minute. Inside the industry, a chilling silence spreads. Actors who once begged for a cameo in a Perry project are now ghosting him, quietly removing past posts or even editing Tyler's name out of their bios. At the same time, Support for the alleged victims swells. People start sharing hotline numbers. Old interviews resurface where Monique and Katt hinted at hidden predators, and celebrities who never dared speak out before suddenly find their voices. There's a shift in the air. It's like everyone's been waiting for this day to come. But just as the narrative looks set in stone, a twist rattles the internet. A well-known comedian, long considered a friend to Tyler, posts a cryptic message. Be careful who you trust. Hollywood don't play fair. Fans immediately speculate, dissecting every old photo and interview for hidden meaning. Within hours, a video of a past award show circulates, showing this same comedian and Tyler in an awkward embrace. The tension now seeming obvious in hindsight. Monique jumps in again. This time with receipt screenshots of old texts, blurry, audio of private conversations, and a message. When we said the list was real, we meant it. The screenshots are messy, parts redacted. But what's clear is that something major was happening behind the scenes for years. More names start leaking, some familiar, some shocking, and now fans are going wild, tagging celebrities demanding they respond. Meanwhile, Katt Williams pops up on a podcast, doubling down on everything. I told y'all from the jump, Hollywood don't protect the innocent, it protects the money. But when the money's threatened, the secrets come out. He promises more to come. Warning, next week, you'll see who else is ready to spill. Reactions are as divided as ever. Some fans go into full defense mode, calling it a witch hunt. Others are convinced this is only the beginning, that more powerful men are about to fall. Everywhere, the phrase victim list is trending. And YouTube explicable. Videos pop up every hour with new exclusive details and interviews from self-proclaimed insiders. And in the midst of all this chaos, Tyler Perry himself finally surfaces online. He posts a short, emotional video, his face drawn, voice trembling, denying everything. I have dedicated my life to uplifting my community, he says. These accusations hurt me deeply. I have always tried to be a force. For good. Please wait for the truth. The comments explode, half supportive, half furious. The whole thing instantly going viral. Not to be outdone, Monique responds on her own feed, her tone fierce but calm. The truth doesn't need protection. It just needs time and a microphone. Katt shares her post, adding only, if you know, you know. As the day ends, another twist drops. One of Tyler's closest collaborators releases a statement, distancing themselves and revealing that there were things we saw but couldn't say. The message is careful, not an outright accusation, but it's enough to light up the internet again by nightfall. Even news outlets outside of entertainment, CNN, BBC, the New York Times are covering the story. The pressure is on, not just for Tyler, but for anyone who ever looked away. Every new leak, every whisper of a name keeps people locked in. You can feel the tension rising. Tomorrow, everyone knows, will bring even more revelations. And as the world watches, it's clear. This scandal isn't fading, it's about to explode. While the world slept restlessly, the drama around Tyler Perry only deepened. By morning, new evidence had surfaced and fans woke up to another wave of explosive headlines. Podcasts were dissecting every moment. TikTokers stitched together theories, and Twitter spaces filled with furious debate. The mood was more frenzied than ever, and everyone knew they were witnessing the unraveling of something huge. Overnight. Anonymous sources started coming forward, some with blurred faces on late-night streams. Others with disguised voices calling. In 2 radio shows, "It's not just about Tyler," one whispered. "This is about how power works in Hollywood." For years, if you wanted a shot, you kept your mouth shut. Another source, a former assistant on one of Tyler's TV sets, claimed there were always closed-door meetings, always secrets. You learned not to ask questions. As the rumors swirled, Monique took things to the next level. She called for a live stream, inviting Katt Williams and several alleged victims to speak publicly. Within minutes of her announcement, tens of thousands joined the countdown, hungry for the next bombshell. The live stream, when it started, was Electric Monique's tone shifting from anger to heartbreak to icy determination. "We're done being quiet," she said. "This isn't just about me or Katt or any one person. This is about the whole system that let this go on." The alleged victims spoke, some with their faces in shadow, voices trembling. They shared chilling stories of parties that went left, of favors traded for opportunities, of being silenced when they tried to speak up. Fans in the chat flooded the screen with messages of support, disbelief, rage. The tension was overwhelming, and Monique at one point broke down, saying, "I wish I'd had someone to fight for me back then." Katt Williams jumped in. "Never. One to hold back." Hollywood wants you to think these people are untouchable. They're not. The same folks who hand out awards are the same ones telling you to keep your mouth shut when the cameras are off. He hinted that the victim list was longer than anyone knows and warned that this was just the beginning. Meanwhile, in Tyler's camp, the mood was shifting from denial to damage control. His PR team released another statement, this time apologizing for any pain caused, intentional or not, and promising an internal investigation. But it was too late. Every apology only fanned the flames. Celebrities started unfollowing Tyler on social media in real time. Instagram stories quietly erased old photos, and collaborators backed out of upcoming projects. People who had built their careers on his name were scrambling to protect their own brands. Tabloids ran photos of Tyler alone in his Atlanta mansion, lights burning late into the night. And then, the final twist of the day. An ex-employee leaked a series of emails allegedly showing that Tyler's team tried to pay off one of the victims. The emails were vague, heavily redacted, but the message was clear. There had been attempts. To keep things quiet, news outlets seized on the leak. Reporters camped outside Perry's studios. And every new detail made the internet explode again. Monique ended her live stream with a plea. "This is our moment to change things, to hold everyone accountable, no matter how powerful they are." Katt echoed her, saying, "The truth always comes out. Sometimes it just takes a little noise." By nightfall, it was obvious. Nothing in Hollywood would ever be the same. And for Tyler Perry, the real fallout was just beginning. The storm around Tyler Perry refused to die down. By the time the third day dawned, the world was a different place for everyone touched by the scandal. But perhaps the most shocking twist came late one evening, when a long-lost friend of Tyler's appeared on a live stream with Monique and Katt. In a trembling voice, she revealed a private letter that Tyler had written years earlier, hinting at his own fears, his secrets, and the darkness that followed him. "I always knew this day would come," she read aloud, tears in her eyes. "I just didn't know when." It was a revelation that sent the internet into overdrive. Was it a confession? A cry for help? Or just another layer in an endless web of deception? As the dust settled on a week that would go down in Hollywood history, the city's glitzy facade had never looked so fragile. For every diehard fan clinging, 2 old loyalties, a dozen more were waking up to the reality that their heroes might be flawed, some beyond redemption. The red carpets, the flashing cameras, the big premieres, they all seemed hollow compared to the heartbreak, rage, and confusion pulsing through every conversation online and off-dot, in living rooms and hair salons, group chats and barbershops. Everyone was talking. Had Monique and Katt Williams finally exposed the truth? Was this the end of Tyler's empire, or just the first chapter in an even wilder story? People debated every leaked text, every interview, every social media post, searching for clues and closure. Emotions ran high, and the family, Hollywood's so-called family, was left divided like never before. Even now, insiders whisper that more names could drop at any moment. Some say more victims are preparing to speak out, that studio bosses are quietly reviewing every contract, and A-list stars are reevaluating old friendships. Others wonder if this is the tipping point that finally forces real change, not just for one man, but for an entire industry built on secrets. And as for Tyler Perry, his silence speaks volumes. Will he make a public apology? Will he fight every allegation tooth and nail? Or will he disappear, leaving Hollywood to pick up the shattered pieces of his once untouchable legacy? Only time will tell. One thing certain, nobody will ever look at Tyler Perry, Monique, Katt Williams, or even Hollywood the same way again. Now it's your turn. What do you think really happened? Whose side are you on, and what should happen next? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Hit like if you want to see more unfiltered Hollywood drama. And don't forget to subscribe so you never miss another jaw-dropping update. Stay tuned, because in this story, the next bombshell could drop at any moment.